We live. We live.
We did it our way.
We're back.
We did it our way. Now it's good we've been talking about these chakras.
It's life purpose.
Or these energy centers. And one we're going to talk about is the third eye, or the pineal gland.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is real crucial dealing on the breatharian journey, even though all of them work together. We understand this. But all of these chakras must be open to a certain degree of energy in order to be sustained by the forces. It's just like a river that's flowing. If the river's only this big, flowing this much water, it's your job to widen up the river so it can bring more water through. So that's how we want the body to take on energy, or what we say take on light. And when we said about conductivity, that electron going through the body, something that's conductive, a conductive material. We want the electrons that's in the atmosphere and that's running through the body to go through smoothly with no blockages. So we was talking earlier about these energy centers and how important the root chakra is. And the root chakra is the physical body. So the way to open up the root chakra, to make sure it's open or to maintain it, is to start taking care of your physical health. Because the first initiation of spiritual knowledge is diet and exercise. Now that's powerful, ain't it? Mm-hmm. Why gain all that knowledge through reading, studying, going to teachers if you ain't taking care of the physical vehicle? You ain't meditating. The only thing you're thinking about is the pain. So you want to get to the point where you don't have no body. In other words, the only time you think about your shoulder is when the shoulder's hurting. The only way you think about the leg is when the leg is hurting. But if the body's not hurting, you're not thinking about it. You got to think about other things. You don't feel your body. You're a nobody.
Does that mean you're losing your ego?
Absolutely. Well, let's put it like this. The ego is redirected. See, let's stop looking at things as being good and evil. The ego ain't nothing wrong with it. It's part of you. That's why we coined it. But its direction, it's going for the tree of good and evil. Duality. That's what that means. So it's not the ego's fault. We want to direct it back into oneness. Now, directing it back to oneness, and we got to train ourselves to think on that level. But it's more than that. Oneness is also how the energies flowing through the body, and you need this to happen in order to stay there. So we're going to look at a chakra that's very important that we got to work on to make sure it's open up at a certain degree so that you can think on a oneness level all the time, because that shows that you are with the tree of life, which is your center. It's the spinal cord. Now read that one scripture in Matthew chapter 19.
The eye is the lamp of the body. So if your eye is healthy, your whole body will be filled with light.
Now, it didn't say eyes. It said the eye.
Eye.
One eye. The eye is the lamp of the body. And it does what?
Illuminates.
It illuminates. And if it's healthy, you're healthy.
Absolutely.
Health comes from the opening of the third eye. That's what the light deals with, to light the whole body. The one singularity of oneness. A person is sick because the body's fragmented. The thinking is fragmented. Sickness don't start in the body, it starts in the mind.
Oh, that's why to get away from them people talking all that.
That's why they say the mind, the body speaks the language of the mind.
Right. The body speaks the language of the mind.
Yeah, that's why they say that.
It's like calligraphy. It's writing what you're thinking. That's what's manifesting. So that's why when people say they want to become a breatharian or be on the breatharian journey, what is the mind thinking? Better than physical health, because it's writing what you're thinking. That's the energy that's coming off of it. So we got to upgrade the energy of the physical body. So that means we got to upgrade the thought process. That's why you got to listen to this message over and over again. To retransform yourself.
To be the message.
To be the message.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Absolutely.
First is to become and then to be.
That's right.
They're one and the same.
Absolutely.
It used to be you could kill the what?
The message.
The messenger, but you can't kill the
Kill the
message.
message.
But now times change. You can't kill the messenger or the message.
That's
They're
right.
one.
That's right.
Man,
That's right.
we're getting it now.
Yes, sir.
So if the eye is single, the whole body is filled with light and the body is healthy.
That's right.
But we got to understand what the pineal gland is. Now they call it the third eye in ancient times, and they call it the pineal gland because of, they say it's shaped like the pine cone. They come from the conifer tree. In other words, the pine tree. And the spiritual symbolism of the pine tree is everlasting life. Because even during the winter time, it's still green.
Evergreen.
Evergreen.
Absolutely.
And the pine cone that's on it is enlightenment. So that's why our third eye talks about enlightenment. That's why they're relating that one eye to enlightenment that's lighting the whole body. And if the body's filled with light, you are healthy.
Healthy.
That should be your whole goal in life, not to make money.
Whoa.
Did I say that?
And it's true.
It is true.
He never asked the birds to make money.
Right.
He never asked any rabbit or any creature to go out and make money. He said, take care of each other
Take care of each other.
and sell.
This is the garden right here.
That's right.
This is heaven right here, the high state of consciousness. Your job is just to take care of the garden. By keeping the one eye open, the singularity, to keep light into the body. Everything else is child's play. I could care less about it. That's how you got to talk. And mean it.
And mean it.
That's the thing about it, just not talk, mean it.
Absolutely.
Man. Now let's see what the pineal gland is. Read that definition.
Pineal. Small endocrine gland in the brain of most vertebrates. Produces melatonin and serotonin. Derived hormone which modulates sleep patterns in both circadian and seasonal cycles.
Now this is very important. It's located in the middle of the brain. So if we're saying that sickness starts in the mind, in the brain, that's what we're talking about now. It starts there before it goes into the physical body. Because all hormones that comes into the physical body, especially our sexual energy, is first made in the brain. It goes down the spinal cord first. So we got to go do some mental surgery. This is what it's about. We got to open up that eye to bring more light into the body. And it deals with circadian rhythm, meaning that the universe or the atmosphere we live in got its own clock going on.
Cycles. You got to tune into those
Right.
cycles.
They don't care about no 9-to-5 job. It's on another clock. And your body's on that clock.
That's why you be
right.
waking up at 3 a.m., bro.
Right.
I know. I know.
Right.
Been up
They
since.
call those the healing hours, like between 2
Well, that's the best time to meditate and do your spiritual work.
I call them the healing hours.
Yeah, oh, that's what it is.
And then it said the two hormones it's responsible for is the melatonin that is activated by nighttime
Yeah.
and the serotonin is activated by daytime.
But you said something earlier. That the melatonin that's at nighttime is more primary.
Right. That's the activation. The light inhibits the third eye. Now listen at
Make
that.
you go to sleep.
When it lets off serotonin in the daytime, but when the light, because it's light sensitive, light and dark sensitive, but when the light hits it, it inhibits it. You understand? But it's the darkness that activates it. The power is in the melatonin, in darkness. When we was babies, we was being created in the dark.
Dark.
And water balls. Like the
In the womb.
Right.
In the womb, in the micro womb of the universe.
That's why now they got a thing dealing with dark retreats,
Yes.
getting that melatonin production back going.
Yes.
That's the activation in the dark.
And we get bad sleep patterns. We have bad sleep patterns due to stress,
Mhm.
anxiety. So most people don't even get a full night's rest.
Right. And the bad invention is hurting us is the light,
The artificial light.
the artificial light.
Oh
Absolutely.
my God.
We brought the sun into the house. So therefore, it's inhibiting
The circadian rhythm.
the circadian rhythm by messing with the melatonin production by keeping the light on all night.
So this is a drug too? Alters your state.
That's a drug.
You
That
said
alters your state.
Yeah.
Right.
Pardon me.
Man.
Ooh, my third eye's bubbling.
Third eye bubbling. Through information.
That's right. That's what's up.
I think
Oh.
the food's helping too.
Right.
No doubt.
Now melatonin,
Thank you.
one thing it does, it's a hormone that goes into the blood that regenerates the body at night. That's why when you sleep, you're regenerating. You're healing.
Right.
Due to the melanin that's going into the blood. That's circulating around the body. The serotonin detoxifies the blood during the daytime. That's why the best hours to eat is in the day. Don't eat at night.
Right.
That's when the body's healing itself. It don't want to work.
So that's basically in tune with the circadian rhythm.
That's what we're
This,
talking about.
the circadian rhythm, in tune with it.
Just repeated me.
Slow down, rest, get up, activity.
Activity, then in the morning time, the elimination cycle and
The elimination in the morning, because it healed itself.
it heals itself.
Already detoxified itself. Didn't even need to take no herb.
As energy workers, can I ask a question? Pose it to all who are Reiki masters who do hands-on healing,
Yeah.
massage therapy, whatever. But sometimes after I do work during the day, and I clear myself, because I've been doing massage 20 years, and there's some other students, and they're like, I got the headache off that client, or I took on this person.
Right.
Da, da, da.
Right.
I said, well, there's a way to avoid that.
Right.
And you should always be prayed up before you even touch someone.
Absolutely.
And afterwards, you have to do the same. You have to find your own way. You're clearing it out.
You do got to clear yourself
But
from
at
those
the same
energies.
time, sometimes I feel like my elimination, or I'm telling you, it'll smell like my last client's breath, or it'll smell like my
Right.
last client's body. And it's coming, it's like my body process. I can't explain it any other way than this.
And there's a lot of doctors who get sick. Always,
No, not like sick, but I know my body's taking it off.
right.
You
But we're not
understand?
saying you're sick. But we're saying there's a book that called Doctors Die Young. By having a profession, you always around sick people like that. That's an energy.
No doubt.
Oh, but you deflected is what I'm saying.
And we all got synergy. Because all of us basically, the person that's going to heal you is yourself.
Yes. But
And
I'm trying to give them an understanding of their own internal position.
right.
And whatever's releasing from them in their auric atmosphere, I have mine in the bubble, but sometimes there's little strings that seep through.
Oh,
And when
absolutely.
it does, my body knows how to regurgitate that stuff, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, why does that smell like Mrs. So-and-so's feet, or
Exactly.
something like that. Like, oh my goodness.
You
Well,
done picked
thank
it
you.
up.
Well, and then it got rid of it, so I'm like, thank you. You know what I mean? Thank
Right.
you.
That's why you have to be careful when people pass gas in a room and you walk in there.
Are you
absorb,
kidding?
you absorb. Yeah, I'm not kidding. You absorb all that. You're just taking it all in.
Like these molecules. He said molecularly.
Regularly, all
Now listen at this. That,
Just saying.
that pineal gland is also called the third eye. Now why would they call it the third eye?
I think it's the first eye.
Right, and you say the first eye. I like that. But now we know that they got medical research that say it got the same retina receptors as your eyes. That's hooked up to it. And it's hooked up to what? The cerebral in the front of the brain and hooked up with other parts of the brain, connecting everything. So it's very key on how it's working. Now in the Vatican, they got the pine cone shape there that's representing the third eye. And it also goes all the way back to Egypt. Here we go again, Egypt. Then we got the eye of Horus.
That's right.
Just looking at the side of the brain.
Right.
So it must have some special, this is ancient again.
Ancient.
And even in our medical profession in the U.S., they used to say that that pineal gland was useless until they start finding out more about it. And there was even one writer who said it's the seat of the soul, which makes a lot of sense. But as we start playing with it more and more, we're going to start going deeper what it's about. Now, in the scripture in Matthew 19, talking about that one eye lights the whole body, and it related it to health. So you mean to tell me you can have an unhealthy third eye? Now, there's a thing now, since more people is catching on about it, that it could get calcified.
It says if your eye is healthy.
If your eye is healthy.
If your eye is healthy.
Here we go. So that means it could be unhealthy. So we got to make sure if it's calcified, we got to decalcify it. And if it's not, we got to make sure it don't happen. So we got to find out what can make the, what? Third eye get weak.
Stinking thinking.
Here we go now. Thinking.
Stinking thing.
So let's go into how to decalcify the third eye. Here we go.
Okay. Third eye, body's internal clock, and to decalcify.
Right.
1, minimize fluoride intake.
Minimize fluoride intake. Now we all know that they put fluoride in the water now.
And the toothpaste.
And the toothpaste.
And the food.
Gracious, I keep hitting this table.
Probably.
And
And the food. Wouldn't blame them.
No doubt.
Because it calcifies the pineal gland. Now, if they're doing it purposely, somebody said they do it to make sure your teeth is all right.
That's a lie.
They
You know
care
that.
about you.
It's so that they can control you. Makes you more docile for control.
Makes you more docile for control. Well, we can take that one. But it's in the water. Known fact. And it bothers the pineal gland. So how do we got to go against it? You got to start getting water and other things that, what? Don't have fluoride in it. We're in that position to do that now.
Yes, we read.
Here we go. So we can make sure we can stay healthy. See, breatharianism again is to eat very little or none at all. And you're going to eat your way into what? Food freedom. But
Right.
first you got to learn how to eat so you can open up your energy channels. Is this making sense?
Been there.
So let's leave the fluoride alone so it can open up more, so we can get more energy into the body.
Oh wait, but your kid's gonna get cavities.
But you know, it's funny because when I was saying, remember I explained to you years ago,
Right.
and this is why I'm here. I was telling them I went to the Breatharian, but I didn't fully grasp the concept because I thought that it was without food. I went there, went to Liquidarian, and I made my way up, but
Right.
I was high. It felt like my skin was on, like something, as soon as you touched me, something great was going to happen, and I felt like that. And I kept walking around New York, everybody like, why? And this guy said, I could tell that something is going on with you because where people look despair and hopeless, you look happy.
Right.
You're walking through this community happy, you're smiling, you're saying hello, how you're doing.
Right.
But I went there and I was explaining to him, that's why you were here also, because we were talking about
That's
that.
right.
I went
That's right.
there. And I said, man, it was one of the greatest feelings in the world. Nothing
Greatest
else matters. I got so much energy. 2 o'clock, I'm jumping out of bed and I'm ready to go. I'm not eating anything. Felt great, lifting weight. Everybody like, man, you don't eat. What's going on with you?
Right.
Because I figured I started absorbing everything around me that was needed for health.
Here we go. And see, now listen to what he said. He didn't know about breatharianism, but he was running into it subconsciously.
Yeah.
This is why we got to educate about this. Now, a lot of people run into it. Go into this state, feel this feeling, but they don't know what it is. Because we've been taught, eventually you got to go eat again. Eventually you got to dumb yourself down again. And all this other stuff. But the more we educate people and you understand the process and what's going on with you, you can stay on this path.
And that's what I'm saying. That's where I want to be at because I was so. You save a lot of money also.
Save a lot of money.
Save a lot of money. You don't have to worry about material
Right,
things
right,
because
Right.
you're just like these are the things that you don't worry about the finest shoes, the finest. I think the things that matter most
Become a minimalist.
is the breath that you breathe that
Right.
matters most.
The
life
breath that you breathe.
that
Here
matters.
we go, the breath of life.
Yeah, the breath of life.
That's the tree of life talking.
That matters the most to you because that's you're like, man,
What's your life for?
yeah, like something's
Your
gonna
life
happen.
force.
It's like you're always looking around the corner like something great is gonna happen when I walk outside.
And
I
it's
know it.
free.
Yeah, I'm gonna get because your skin, the air of my body just literally stand up every
Right.
like because oxygen is flowing through me. There's no blockages, and that's how I
No
felt.
blockages. Here we go.
Right.
That's right.
And it's free. It costs no money to fill in that state. You can't buy it.
Yeah.
Nature wouldn't even take your money. They'll say keep that.
But I think nature recognizes nature. It
Nature
appreciates
recognize
glory.
because
It
we are
appreciates
nature.
glory. Like I went out there and put my wrist in the raindrops and held the rain just like that. I said, "Come on, can we get a little sunshine?" Not that I did that. God did that.
Why not?
But
Why
She
not?
did it.
Why
That
not?
is just
did it.
I did that.
Oh, goddess. She doesn't want to show off.
Hey, you're an extension of God having an experience.
Extension of nature.
You're God having an experience. He wants to experience life through you. He wants to be that breath through you.
Absolutely.
That is you. You are God in itself. We are all God having an experience.
Right.
Right. Here we go. Having an experience in consciousness. So that's why resurrection is easy. Because who we are. We're God. It should be easy.
It's
There ain't nothing you can do.
But it doesn't
Cannot
seem
do.
that simple when you are. I guess we need to keep it so severely imprinted into our minds as we walk through the chaos of the world,
Right.
and try to breathe through it.
Well, we're breaking it right now. I'm doing it.
I think-
Right.
Yeah, I think-
It's different in when you're in a bunch of disagreeable forces against you. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, that's just a little
I
competition.
think.
We did that just to have a workout.
For me, for us,
That's all it is.
like we always
You
say.
start
Ain't
talking
nothing
this
can
stuff while
stop
you're
you.
hanging with your
No, but for
watching
us-
football games.
For us
you don't
is that
talk
I
about
always
it.
say
Feel like
that
you don't
I'm not
talk
trying
about
to
it.
change
Audience.
people's view
I
of
see.
things.
What,
I'm
pearls
showing
of
them
the
there's
spine?
another way to do things.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Now listen at this. Number 2. Okay, minimize fluoride.
Minimize fluoride intake. Number 2,
I take it.
fluoride-free toothpaste.
Now they talk about the toothpaste, fluoride-free toothpaste. And we live in a good age now. You don't have to get toothpaste that got fluoride in it. So we beat that one.
How about baking soda? Just use baking soda.
Just use baking soda. We got all types of stuff to use now,
Some neem oil.
so that we can keep our third eye open. Somebody said, "Why are you doing what? Messing with fluoride?" So I can see. So I won't go blind. All right, number 3.
Number 3, no calcium supplements.
No calcium supplements. You don't need them. 55% of your blood is calcium. That's how it gets with the sun and make vitamin D. You start living a healthy, natural life in nature, getting out more, breathing clean air, getting around negative ions. You don't need no supplements. Not just to make money. You just making the system rich.
GNC.
That's what they mean by selling your soul to the devil.
Uh-oh.
Right.
Uh-oh.
This is all free again.
Mm.
All right, let's go on.
Oh, yeah. Number 4, avoid non-stick cookware.
Avoid non-stick cookware.
What's it, Teflon?
Teflon.
Now they got some stuff, PCO, I don't know the medical terms about it, about what they're talking about. But non-stick cookware, they had to put something on there.
Right.
People sitting up there eating, it sure make cooking easier. But it's about to make you blind.
Mm. Blind leading the blind.
The blind leading the
Blind
blind.
leading the blind.
About to calcify your pineal gland.
Mm-hmm.
What we use? Cast
So-
iron?
Right. Non-stick cookware.
Okay.
So the grandparents was right. Go get that old skillet at least and put the grease into it.
That's right.
Cast iron?
Yeah.
Leave that new stuff alone.
Cast iron.
All right, what's that next one?
Number 5, eat organic, whole foods.
Now what you eat right there? Organic food. Eat organic whole food.
Yep.
At least learn how to eat before you even go into food freedom.
Mm.
I know
I know.
that's
At
right.
These
least
people
learn.
that come to me don't even know how to eat. And they want
No,
to
that's
be
not
a
even
vegetarian.
it. They're not even eating real food.
Not even
Then they
eating
wanna
real
become a-
food.
Right.
So they want to become a breatharian. You're not even nourishing your body right before you step into
right.
the game. You
Right.
Ready.
I spent like 2 weeks in Hawaii this past summer, I was paying homage to Takata. Anybody who know Reiki know that.
Yeah.
Know who she is.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm like, this little Asian woman, and it was a war going on, and she went over there and brought it back, and then it was all men.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, you my homie girl.
Yeah.
So I went to Hawaii to go find her church. Oh my gosh! And if you see it, the symbols are like on this pylon, they're like etched out, because you're supposed to like, no, they're not, supposed to know it, like tell it or whatever.
Right.
They're supposed to stay secret.
Working with the energy. Here we go
But I
again.
was over there 2 weeks,
Uh-huh.
and I only have minimal budget.
Now
And,
just
like,
dealing with the pineal gland.
Kinda.
All
All
right.
I could eat was
This
raw
is gonna be
food.
long.
It won't be long.
Organic
Fruit and
food.
fish for 2 entire weeks.
Right.
Nothing else. And it was like a conditioning. That's how I eat usually anyway.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit more deeper than that.
Right.
It was like I'm picking the mango right there. They had the farmers.
And you
market.
talk about the food relating to how you feel.
Accessibility. Yes.
Here we go again.
There you were.
And there was a woman who called me, even though she's eating bad. She said she know without a shadow of a doubt when she was eating the whole organic foods, she felt better.
Yep.
She don't know how she got back in that condition. But nobody can argue about that no more.
Right.
Even if you're going to eat right. This is what we talk about. So what? You want to decalcify your pineal gland.
That's right.
All right, let's keep reading.
All right. Number 6. Avoid processed foods sprayed with pesticides.
Avoid processed foods and spray it with pesticides. Here we go again.
But you know what? That's so.
Processed
That's
food.
processed food sprayed with pesticides. You see that? That's processed food now. And pesticides.
And pesticides. You really hit, ain't
Well,
you?
really, that's like processed and pesticides.
Why would I would eat something that's killing a spider?
Yeah.
It's going to do something to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Here we go again. But we done fell into that. It's killing all the bugs and it ain't supposed to kill you.
Right.
Right?
But then, like you eating the
It's
food,
short
like,
around the people up
like to
there.
start the process. The more higher you eat of the thing, the higher you go. Because a lot of people, even though they transform, they still eating at the bottom. And you need to eat light foods. Like I love coconut because it's light. I
Right.
love mango. These food are taking me
Eating
to that
lighter
level.
food.
Electric food are taking me to
To electricity of it.
Right.
Right.
rising
Here we
me.
go again.
Right.
So it's rising me to give it up. It's not holding me down. It's like I'm lighter and lighter. It's like, yo, you don't need me no more. I done what I'm supposed to do. The food done what it's supposed to do.
The food done this to lighten you up.
Lighten me up. Tell me on my way.
This is why we get the word enlightenment. You want to go from enlightenment to enlightenment to enlightenment.
Yeah.
But it's a whole process that we're working on.
It's a whole process, a life process where you went from heavy, dense to lighter.
Here we go.
Life force. The life force in the food now, you're not living off the thing like they say. Micronutrition with fat, carbohydrates. You know, you have the macro with the vitamin B's, and now you're
Right.
moving up into life energy food.
Let your food be your medicine, and your medicine be your food. I mean, this is ancient again.
Right back to it.
Right back to it. This all dealing with the freedom of the pineal
Back
gland.
to it.
Now, this is saying this is the stuff you need to do to decalcify it. So if it's already inhibited, eat some good food to get it freed up. So it can give off another frequency. So you can see spiritually. We ain't talking about these other eyes.
Do you think it's very most closely related to the colon too? The brain and the colon, same gray matter, white matter.
Absolutely.
Just
All one. That's why we talk about holistic
Absolutely.
medicine. Holistic meaning the whole being.
So that's why
The whole person.
Now you get with the root chakra.
The whole package.
The whole root. You have to clear the whole root.
The whole root is the physical body.
You got to clear the whole root.
Everything's open.
and that thing is like
That's how we know.
that brain and the pineal and coming down your spine.
All of
That's
that.
those spinal fluid.
It's all in the spine. The spine is the tree of life. Period. The spine is, that's your job. Put your hand to what? Be a caretaker of the tree of life, which
And
is
that's,
you.
that's where in the Kemetic tradition, the tree of life, where you have
It is a
Ma'at,
self-sustaining tree.
You have Ma'at, which balance. You have Haru, deal with the heart,
We
and
do that
you
earlier.
do everything. So
What
it's the
he's
same.
talking about is like where they got the Kabbalic, the tree of Kabbalah
Kabbalah,
from.
Right.
They found that in the wall of Kemet
Kemet.
already
Already.
at the temple of Dendera.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. The tree of life is basically dealing with each emotion, dealing with the body in itself. You are the embodiment of that. And you have to open up these facilities within your body so that the energy can flow.
So the energy, it all makes sense now, don't it?
And then, yeah, and when you make a decision, that's why we say everything. When you're living your best life, like we said, everything has to be ma'at, and you have to use the divine word and bring the divine light in.
Here we go.
The divine light in, and to use a root consciousness with the heart consciousness to deal with each other.
Now look at this. Y'all rattling all this off. Y'all already got the knowledge. I just can't do this. This is everywhere I go. Everybody already got the knowledge. You just needed somebody to take it from myth to reality. We just wasn't reading no book. This is talking about us.
There's still a blockage because we need to know better how to apply it.
No, I think
This is
what
what
it
we're
is it's not mainstream. Because it's not mainstream, and nobody has quantified to put it in a thing to say, hey, it's okay for us to do. But we have rather other time going around bringing it mainstream. So what we need to do is step up behind them and let everybody know this is just not our only person doing it.
Right.
We're all doing it.
Right.
Here we go.
Because you say he's bringing it mainstream. When I first clicked on Ellaton, I said, yo, he have a whole lot of videos up here. It wasn't just a few. There's a whole lot of information. So every day, I'm like, okay. And what he's saying is resonating, is clicking. But he's making it mainstream.
Right.
California.
Mainstream.
California. That's why we go to California.
Veganism becomes
California know how to package it.
Veganism becomes
They've been
packaged
doing
now.
it. They've been doing it.
Veganism is getting packaged now. So
I've been like that 20 years. I got certified in yoga in 1990 in California, 1999 in Fresno, California. So I know all that.
But everybody want me to come to California because they're like, we need to market you, brother, and package you.
Right.
But it's a packaging. But Breatharian, I think, is the next level because the way the government is handling our food.
We're all about energy now.
Yeah, growing our food. They're growing our food in labs.
Yes.
If you can, I think why I came is to get the tool. It's a tool to take me to the next level to say,
Right.
I'm not fantasizing about food. Yo, man, I want that raw pizza or like that. I could do it out. Let's drive and when we get where we're going.
And the main thing, we got a what? Pandemic dealing with health.
Yeah.
It could have been avoided.
Yep.
And everybody should be craving a better life now. This is a health message.
So do you think that the food's grown in the lab or that does not get hit to the sun? I have all these urban farmer friends all over the place, bro, that are growing food under rules by light. And I'm like, I don't even want your celery. I want it to be under the sun. I don't think it has the same vitality.
It doesn't.
Tell me that.
So you talking about like
It doesn't have it.
hydroponics and
Hydroponics and
yes,
things like
and
that.
all these rooftop gardens that are under.
Oh, that's their problem.
You are. I think.
I don't care about the food growing up under the.
I think what it is
he don't care.
you don't care. You don't
Oh,
care.
yeah,
He don't care.
You don't care. He'll walk into the ocean and come out full.
There we go.
I think.
care
Yeah.
about that.
Ions, positive ions.
Now what we at now?
All right, opening the third eye. That's where we
Now
are
we
now.
talked about decalcifying it, right?
Yes.
Just through a lifestyle. Food, stay away from fluoride, and all of this stuff. Basic. We got it now. Now we want to activate it. Look how that we use that word activated. Now I used to tease people and say people used to pay a lot of money for somebody to activate their third eye. All this stuff, make them feel good, temporarily. But it's your job to open up your third eye and to keep it open. It's an energy center. And energy love to move upwards. So like we were saying earlier, if the root is open, it feeds the rest of the chakras up to the third eye. That's why in ancient times they always had the serpent coming up the pole from the bottom upwards to open up this.
That's right.
It needs the energy to be activated from upwards, and we're going to go into why and how to do it. Now we're going to talking about activating it. Now listen at this. This is
Okay.
simple. We know now.
Activating the third eye. Number one is dull pressure. You will feel dull pressure between your eyebrows.
Okay, this is when it's activated. You will feel dull pressure between your eyebrows. Now, why is this? It's an energy center, remember? So you will start feeling a pressure on your eyebrows of that burst of energy waking up. This is how you know it start getting activated. Number 2.
Increases the foresight.
Now, this is a good one. It increases the foresight. Now, we got all of these psychics running around, right? Now, they ain't lying about it. Everybody got psychic abilities. It's just that some people are more skilled at it than others. Perfect practice make perfect. Yeah, you know if somebody's in the house or not without ringing the doorbell. You do.
Yeah.
We smart. We're geniuses. Oh, man. Here we go. We all got psychic abilities. But when you activate your third eye through this lifestyle, it will increase your foresight. So you should be wanting to better your game. You should. Everybody got a good game. We ain't trying to put nobody down, but you can better your game. Step it up a little bit.
No doubt.
I remember I was in the Navy. It was this dude named Russell. Now, he can dribble and stuff like that, and the only way he can shoot is if he take you to the right side. So the way to shut Russell down was to go to his right side.
That's right.
But next season came around, he upped his game. He must have been practicing on his left side. So he could take you either way. And then he busted out with a jumper. He upped his game. You couldn't touch him no more. Now, at the beginning, he was easy. Just shut down his right side. But he upped his game. So you should be wanting to up your spiritual game.
Absolutely.
This is heavy, ain't it?
Absolutely.
That's more light.
More light.
Where I was fasting, and I went to 90 days, and y'all like, yo, you gotta
I said you get ready to
disappear.
disappear.
But I was
we eventually became concerned.
because it felt so good.
He keeps going from fast to different fast to different fast.
Right.
You gotta check the emotion. Where's your emotion?
But I was just feeling great, and I'm seeing things, and I'm
You
observing
would have watermelon
things.
juice and
Yeah,
coconut
I
water.
saw seeing things that I was there that I never saw before. I'm
Right.
like, wait a minute. Oh, this.
Now listen at this. On the way he described and how he feels. And there's breatharian retreats I have. And one woman said, how do we stay in this state? How to maintain this state? See, it's one thing to feel like that on the experience. But now you want to live a life where you feel like that every day.
Every day.
So this is what drives you to leave food alone in the first place. You start feeling that difference.
So that's the transformation is like where every, not just transmuting is not just going there and staying there. It's having a taste and keep going back till eventually there and don't ever come back.
Don't ever come back.
So you have to keep.
You put in too much work. One day it coming to you, you know what it's going to feel like. How long it's going to take you to come out of it. Getting back to this state.
Yeah.
You keep doing it over until you wake up. See, insanity, what's that definition for insanity?
Over and over.
Right, keep expecting something different to happen. You keep doing it over and over again. That's why it's your own self-realization. Nobody can tell you differently. So when they ask you, you don't want none of this food, it ain't going to bother you? No, it ain't going to bother me because I don't want to feel like that. I know how you feel. It's just that they don't know how you feel. They never made it to that state yet.
Right.
They don't know how you feel. That's why some people will get sick. You say, didn't they feel that coming? No, they were numb. You didn't feel it coming. You didn't feel the stroke coming and the high blood pressure, you didn't feel it. But if you stay in this state, you will. That's why you won't stay there long. You can come in and out of frequencies. That's how much power it is.
Isn't the earth also shifting frequency?
But then that's where a lot of people say that I'm going a different dimension, but then I'm like, you haven't mastered this dimension. How are you going a different dimension if you haven't mastered where you're at completely yet?
Well, let's don't make it spooky. Check this out. There's a scripture that says, you never know when you're entertaining an angel. Now listen at that now.
Angels unaware.
So there's times I'm walking down the street, anywhere,
Yeah.
and people don't know I'm food free. They got somebody who's food free just walk past them. But they don't, we're on two different dimensions, even though we're in the same atmosphere. I live in a breatharian world. I'm looking at the air differently. The trees differently. They're looking at it totally differently.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I'm in agreement.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's a perception change. Let's don't be spooky with it. It's a perception. Some people are good at looking at a field and see food all out in the field because they know what to pick. That's knowledge. And some people will say, I ain't got no food, I'm hungry. They don't know the food is out there. Those are perceptions of knowledge. See, enlightenment is one thing, dealing with light, dealing with a feeling, but it's also dealing with self-knowledge. You need to know some things. You need to become the knower of truth. Not no belief. A child believes.
I know that's right.
A child will follow his mother anywhere, no matter if she's right or wrong. It believes. But when you know, it start growing up. I used to do the things of a child, that's why I followed him. But when he got his own mind, I ain't going to follow him anywhere.
Put away childish things.
Right, you put away childish things. So you're becoming a knower of truth, a knower of the knowledge.
And know that you know.
And know that you know. Just like a car running off of solar power can sit side by side in the parking lot where the car is going off of fossil fuels. They side by side. Two different fuel sources.
One is absolutely quiet.
And one is absolutely quiet.
Quiet.
The other one, all in the air. Pollution, toxicity, stress. That's what we're dealing with. Oh, man. This is what we're dealing with. Nobody. We want to get nobody. So we need a cleaner fuel source. And that's what we're dealing with.
All right.
Now, what else we reading here?
All right.
This is dealing with how you know the third eye is activated.
Number 3 is prone to light sensitivity.
Oh my God.
Prone to light sensitivity. Here we go
We
again.
work in the dark.
That's me.
We work in the dark.
Joy.
All day long. So
Me
that's
too.
weird.
Here.
Yeah.
So prone. Ooh. I'm very
Get sensitive.
always have.
And not only
We come out there like,
with vibrations you feeling more sensitive. So some people do say to me sometimes how they can't stand the city because they start feeling everybody's vibration.
Yeah.
Now I'll be trying to be nice and say, well, that's on you. You have to try to get used to it. It don't bother me. But I know what they're talking about. They're living healthier, cleaner lives, so they're picking up all of that stuff from people.
Yeah.
It's more sensitive. I know what they're talking about.
I got my force field out.
Yeah, got to
You
get
gotta
shields up.
You got to keep it up. You got to keep it up.
All right, what's that next one?
All right. Number 4, a feeling of gradual and continual change.
Here we go. You will have a feeling of gradual and continual change. Now, why is that? See, your physical body was born from here. It needs to eat, it needs to drink, it needs to sleep. The physical body. It don't know no better. It was born here. The light body that's in you come from somewhere else. It ain't from here. So it always looked to change itself, develop. That's where you get it from. The physical body living for the moment, it don't care. But the light body that's in you. So if you start opening up your pineal gland, the way you know is you get more light into the body, you have a hunger and thirst for righteousness. A hunger and thirst to transform, to change. It's like a jack in a box. You can't put it down. You will crave nature. You will crave meditation. Even if you get dirty, you'll get yourself clean again.
That's right.
That's just the reality.
That's right.
You don't stay there, stuck. Oh, man. That's how you know. It's activated.
Temperature sensitive too.
Temperature. Oh, here we go. I love why she said that. Oh, we're going to dig deep now. You just opened up some worms. Or let me say something else. Why not use worms? That's that whole program.
Pandora, not Pandora. Gift
Right. Now we got...
some more light.
All right, here we go.
You want that next one?
Yeah.
All right. Number 5, increased headaches.
Increased headaches. But this,
That's a big one.
Have mercy.
now, why is that again? All right.
Oh,
I
Now,
don't have that.
for this to even be open, that means the rest of them is open. There's a flow coming. But it's straightening out the body.
say it again. It's struggling.
Now-
What do you
It's straightening out.
say?
All these chakras is coming together. Now they're being fueled from the root. So it's straightening up the physical body. It's healing stuff. So when you get up here to the dome, the church,
That's right.
right,
The temple.
the temple,
That's right.
Right, you feel it as a pressure.
Mind, yeah, got it.
A pressure. You feel tingling in the head? You felt that before?
Oh, I know the tingle.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
It's opening up.
I feel it right now.
Your halo coming online.
I feel that tingle.
Halo coming on.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how we know.
Wow.
This stuff can be measured. We just ain't swinging in the air. How do you become self-sustained in the tree of life? The tree of life got a map to go to it. We just bringing the map out.
I read a story once about how God, well, the creator of all things, we have that as babies. We have it open.
Real soft at the top of the head, babies.
Yeah, and
Fontanelle.
supposedly the spirit, God's working on you year by year until you're about 7, and that thing doesn't
then
really
close.
close until you're 7 years
Closes.
old.
Here we go.
There's the 7 chakras. So I'm like, oh, okay.
7 or 8
He
years
seals
old.
you in. He seals it in.
Right.
Right.
I like how she said it. There's a lot going to go with that.
Mine never
She right.
closed.
Now where we at?
Oh, shit.
All right, where we at now? Pineal gland activation.
Now activation. So we just read about decalcifying it.
Yes.
We just talked about the symptoms you have when it's opening. Now we're going to talk about you activating, taking it to another level. We're upping our game. Now you're going to start a slam dunk on your game. Here we go.
Gland is sensitive to bioelectrical signals of light.
No.
Oh, here we go. Wait a minute.
Hold on.
Another one.
Hold on.
Wait, let's start over.
Gland is sensitive to bioelectrical signals of light and dark in its environment. Meditation can activate this bioelectrical energy.
This is why we say meditation is the foundation.
Meditation is the foundation.
There was a guru who said a man who don't meditate can't be wise. It's a tool that's used, that's given to humanity. So you can work with the bioelectrical energy.
That's right.
Y'all went to church today.
Bioelectrical energy.
The bioelectrical energy.
Church right now.
So let's go back to that one again. Where it says it's the light. Hold on. Where was he at on that one?
I got you. I know where it is. Let me see.
I'm all over the place, excited.
That's all right. Hold on. I got it. It's right here.
But it's, oh, here we go.
The eye is the lamp of the body.
The eye is the lamp of the body.
So if your eye is healthy,
If it's healthy,
your whole body will be filled with light.
your whole body is filled with light. Here we go. Didn't say might.
Right. Is.
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 You got to open up these energy centers.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. You ain't fasting yourself into that.
And there it is.
You got to go in and do something. That's the great work. And keep them open. They can close just like you opened them.
That's right. They sure can.
They sure can.
They sure can.
What I used to call it, what you call it, they give up and go back to their old habits. They gave it up.
Spiritual.
A
Penalties.
spiritual abortion.
It's penalties for that.
There's penalties.
Penalties. It hurts.
Depressed, slow again, aches, pains. You got to get tired of that after a while and say, I'm going to stay in heaven.
Thinking the visual.
I'm going to nothing else matter.
Wow.
That's what's up.
Oh, man.
Absolutely.
Diabetes don't exist. Not to that being. High blood pressure don't exist. Not when our third eye's open. That don't even exist. Well, it might. It runs in the family. No, it don't.
It stopped running.
It stopped running. Well, I guess you just got kicked out the family. You're another family now. You're the family of life.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, man.
There's a comedic cacao. I shared it with you earlier. It said Nupunu, I am that I am. But it is Nupunu, Ku Amiku, Kimam Keperu, Amniche Hau. And Amniche Hau means I am from the family of light.
I am from the family of light. That's it. And there's not a, in this age we live in now, there's not a physicist on this planet that wouldn't say that the human being works with energy. They will say the human being works with, you are a light being. Everything you're dealing with is frequency and vibration. Period.
That's what Tesla said.
That's it. Right.
If you want to understand the universe, learn to look at the universe in terms of frequency and vibration.
Here we go.
That's what Tesla said.
And all we're doing is upping our game.
We stepping up. We stepping
So
up.
again, pineal gland activation can be done by
Yeah, let's read that one more time. That was too heavy
by
here.
a 5.
Yeah, I read a whole little thing. Pineal gland activation. Okay, wait. Is sensitive to bioelectricals. That's not the same one. No.
But that's okay. You can say there.
Hold on. Finish.
That was it, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Sensitive
The
to
gland. Now listen. All right.
Is sensitive. The gland is sensitive to bioelectrical signals.
Now
of
listen
light.
at this. Stop right there.
Right.
Bioelectrical signals of light.
Yes.
Bio means life.
Life.
Bioelectrical. So it's talking about what's in the atmosphere. This ain't talking about the physical sun. You got a sun gaze. You living in it. There's signals coming all through us. Currents.
5G. That's what I want to get to.
Right.
Yeah.
So
That's why we were just in here playing with the energy.
That's where people
That's
don't
why
understand
you don't want
that.
5G.
Current,
You
electric
don't want
why don't we
5G.
teach
flows,
people how to do
light
electric?
flow through
It's gonna
water.
kill people. How about that?
And people don't get that.
Kill
Like,
my birds.
water is electric.
Here we go.
He's gonna tell
He
you.
said light flows through water. Water's electric, and our body's mostly what?
Water.
It's current. It's
But
current.
it's common, but people don't get that. They think that
They
water.
don't get it.
That's why when you step in water and you hold something, you get charged because water is electric and you're electric. That's where the charge comes in. You and the water.
We got it all in our favor. The hemoglobin, our blood attracts light to it. The water attracts light to it that's in us, and also the melanin. And all of us have neuromelanin going through the system. Here we go again. This is a given. All we got to do is become aware of it through education, knowing, and up our game.
That's right.
You will become good at it. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Now, I'll keep reading
Want
it
me to
one more
finish
time.
that? All right, now. I'm going to read the whole thing and finish it. The gland is sensitive to because it didn't finish.
Yeah.
The gland is sensitive to bioelectrical signals of light and dark in its environment.
In this environment. Don't worry about what's happening over in China. This the environment we in. We got our own thing going on. And everywhere I travel, the energy's high.
Mm.
It is.
Mm.
Here I'm in Virginia. I just left Ohio. I was sitting there doing Qigong.
Raising the vibration.
I was in Chicago. It didn't matter. New York, Florida. Everywhere I went, it was there.
No doubt.
In my environment.
In its environment.
That's the only environment you live in. Where did you live in your life?
Because you carry your own environment with you no matter where you go.
So
You carry your own environment with
Yeah,
you?
it is.
Oh, because you're the creator.
like you're the fish with the bowl.
That's exactly.
Fish walking with your boat.
Get it?
Oh.
Last part.
And the fish walking on the boat, that is your force field.
Yeah, that's your force
And
field.
you can
right there.
expand your force
Force
field
field.
or you can bring your force field in.
Here we go. Oh, man.
Last part on that. The meditation can activate this bioelectrical energy.
The meditation can
Can.
activate this bioelectrical energy. Here we go again. Got to become a practitioner. To practice.
Energy work.
To be in the game.
Absolutely.
To keep it open. And you got to, see, it starts out as a practice. You know, a person might say every day from 2 or 3 o'clock I do yoga. All right. Or I do this meditation. But over a period of time, people ask me, what times do you meditate?
All
Whenever
the
I,
time.
but you're walking meditation.
Right. You are the meditation.
You are the meditation.
All the time.
Everything's open. You just got to keep it open. It's a given.
That's right.
Oh, man. But you love relaxing. That's meditation, being in a relaxed state. Energy automatically goes up and down the body as a conduit.
That's like
So you stop stressing it out.
that's like when I'm in the kitchen. That's my meditation.
Right.
It's mine. Everything
When
is
I'm in the
flowing.
garden, it's
Right.
Everything is
meditation.
flowing. It's like I'm at peace and everything just comes.
Yes, yes, yes.
And you're like, everybody like,
Musicians
how you do that? Because the energy comes to me and this is love. I'm putting the light energy. I'm putting the food.
Now look what he said. The energy comes to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then he put love in it. That's what love is. You ain't got to go look for the energy.
So yeah, if you have the
You already got the
power for it,
energy.
That's
Right
that
here.
fourth.
It's
That's
right
that
here.
fourth chakra.
It
Yeah.
comes to you.
How far did you say it goes out?
Oh, man. 500 times further. That's the machines they got to
wrap
calculate.
around the earth.
It goes further than that. All out in the
Now
universe.
that is the 5G right there.
Right.
For you, yes.
Yes.
As this 5G though is permeating our planet, I'm not, saying doom and gloom. I'm saying it's a fact, and it's creating a thermal heat on our globe. And as she she vibrates faster. We're earthlings. We're going to vibrate with her. So in keeping in tune with nature and the earth, if you don't feel like you're vibrating faster, okay, you're either going to vibrate faster and accelerate, or you're going to plummet really quickly. What's good's going to stay good and transcend, and what's bad is going to go down quick.
Now look what she
The
said.
density is going to happen very quick unless you are trying to transcend.
Now look what she
The
said.
earth is pulling you for it. But these denser bodies, they're going to fall like sediment.
Now look
So
what she said. She
I'm
really
just
ain't saying the future.
No.
She just saying what we already been
Fact.
doing.
That's
right
right.
there.
That's why death was
Right
on the
now.
scene.
Right.
Say it again.
You
That's
just
why
described
death
what we already been going through. That's
Okay.
why death was on the scene.
Death was on the scene.
Yeah.
That's what it was. You
You
didn't
know what?
describe the
Because
future.
what-
You just described what's going on
Right
now.
now.
Just right now, yeah.
Right now.
Right now.
That's where they say a lot of people, when we make that shift into the fifth dimensional thinking
right.
and stuff, those that not shifting will fall
False.
aside, and that's
That's right.
what's going on. They're falling aside because they're not lighting up their load.
That's
It's
right.
like, I'm lighting up my load so that I can go to the next level. And lighting up your load doesn't necessarily mean taking your clothes off or putting down stuff. It means lighting up yourself in a spiritual way of lightening.
Right.
Enlightenment. You know, you're lightening everything. It's no longer where I need this heavy thinking. And then sometimes your thoughts are heavy. Your emotions
The
are
thoughts
heavy.
are heavy.
Your emotions are heavy, rest heavily on your heart chakra. You don't, but we label them as names. But there's certain emotions that rest heavily on your heart. You don't know what it is. You're just like, oh, I feel like that. But then you're associated with grief or whatever because those emotions are heavy. So we have to lighten them and learn how
Heal
to
them.
move them
Right.
around.
You healed them
Move them out.
Burn them out.
Mhm. Now listen at this. There's a word I'm going to use called a system. And a system is just a bunch of components all working together to make one unit as it whatever is creating the flow. Sort of like when we talk about the governmental system. It's just a one government. There's many things coming into it to create the whole system. There's the medical branch. There's the agriculture. There's the war department.
The war.
Right. They all go together.
Yeah.
All got their policy to make that one system.
Yeah.
But not only on that level, when I was in the Navy, I was in communication where we had the, it was more than just jumping on the radio. You had the antenna, the amplifier, you had to get the right one,
Headphone.
the right receiver. The headphones, that's if you wanted to hear it audibly or through something else if you want to hear it typed out or whatever. But the system was our job to set it up. And just because you set it up don't mean that the system is always going to work. There's something where you got to troubleshoot it. Where's the problem happening in the system? Something is bad in the system if you're not getting that flow. So you ain't got to replace everything within the system. You got to find out where the problem is taking place at. So as we was reading this with the decalcifying the pineal gland, that's just one problem we were saying. But there could be many more problems dealing with the chakras in the body. You understand? But this is a total system that we must keep in mind and keep it flowing. Now we got 4 components in the brain. You said something key before, and we're going to get back into this. We got a thing called a thalamus, the pineal gland, the hypothalamus,
That's right.
and the pituitary gland. But that's a system. They don't work independently. They work together. Oh man, just like with the rest of them, but this is happening in the brain. Now your thalamus, I'm not going to get all in tune of what they're talking about, but it's like an antenna.
It is. It is a frequency drawing pyramid. It rings.
Here we go, a frequency drawn pyramid.
It rings.
And see, you remember how we was doing Qigong
It's
earlier?
your universal sight.
Mm-hmm. And the body only will give you enough energy that the body is prepared for. So that antenna again, it's bringing in energy. It's there. But this is why you want to purify on this journey the body. So it can bring in more light. So it won't get blocked. But the antenna's there, the thalamus. Then it's going into the pineal gland. Now this is going to get good. And the pineal gland dealing with its hormones, the melatonin, the serotonin on its cycles. But then the hypothalamus is where it gets good. That's like a buffer. Just like when we was creating that system in the Navy, it came through the antenna, But then we had this amplifier. Or let me get it like this. It's sort of like the 120 watts there.
Like a regulator or a transformer.
Right, a transformer.
And you got a step down.
A step down. So it's helping us out in the way, this atmosphere, because there's so much power in this room, your body can't handle it. It's doing us a favor. You'll blow up.
It's buffering.
So it's
You're
buffering.
describing architecture of the pyramid.
Short
Yeah.
circuiting.
That's exactly what you just did. That's where my mind's at. Like,
We are the
chamber,
pyramids.
the damn right.
That's a
Pardon
similitude.
me. Yes.
You're the pyramid of power.
Uh-huh. And that's why there's that empty sarcophagus at the top. Like,
Here we go. And we're talking about the pineal gland, right?
yes,
This is the
at
all-seeing
top.
eye.
You said it was
It ain't on a dollar bill. It's right here.
Right.
That's what they talking about.
On top of the pyramid.
That's your picture on there.
Chakras is bubbling again.
They call that the ben ben. They call that the capstone, the ben ben.
Yes.
Because the
And it's a high
Bennu bird, that's right.
Bennu bird, yeah.
The Bennu bird is the comedic
Pretty.
origination of
Isn't it
the
pretty?
phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they get that conceptualization from.
Yeah.
The ben
Oh,
the
man.
Bennu bird that
Yeah.
rises
Yeah.
from its ashes and is reborn.
Right.
And rebirth. All through Kemet you find symbols of rebirth and
And the Merkaba, too.
rejuvenate. Of course.
The Merkaba.
Now listen at this.
That's I can go into that too.
Go ahead, run it, brother. Go.
Mhm, I
Now
can
from
go
the hypothalamus, it's giving it signals on how much energy you did prepared yourself for. It's a buffer. It's going to the pituitary gland. And it's called the master gland.
Right.
Or the mother of all of them. Now listen at this. Because it gives the other glands in the body its command on what to release
That's right.
and all this other stuff. It's the mother gland. The regulator.
But
CIC,
it's
huh?
regulating your hormones. But
Kabbalah
what vehicle is it using that runs up and down your spinal cord?
All of the
What are
glands
those
secrete
cisterns
enzyme.
in your? But what are those cisterns in your brain actually filtering through? And if you crack your head and it starts leaking out, you're done. If I cut you right there and it starts leaking out of your spine, you're done. It's really that cerebrospinal fluid, and that's your Nile.
Here we go.
That's
the
your
river.
Nile.
That's the river.
That's the river Nile. Right.
I like
The
that.
Nile River.
I like that.
That's right.
The spinal fluid.
Yeah,
That's
because
right.
those cisterns, they're like,
like that.
they like curling in your brain. These little, it looks like little
So
snails.
that's the
Yeah,
cerebral,
you're right.
the
That's-
cerebral
They
fluid.
did
Here
it
we
in
go.
the Nile.
Is it
Now we're going to talk about it.
Yes.
How to activate the third eye to another degree. Now we're getting this degree through medical science. The
Yeah.
energy's coming
So
down.
that's also where you say that during birth you put it celibacy because you don't want the Nile to flow.
Let's go.
This is
Oh,
where
you're
we're
going.
going.
You're damming it up.
No, you don't let the Nile, you don't
You
waste
dam it
the
up.
semen because
Yeah.
you think you pull the cerebral fluid out when a male release.
Of course, it's
So
seminal retention, but
you
you're damming it
retention,
off.
you retention it and bring it back up,
Up.
inside until
It's not- it's
let the Nile flow upwards.
This is where we're going. So now, sexual energy. Here we go. Now the pituitary gland is oval shaped. That ain't no coincidence. So we always talk about male and female energies. Both the male and female got the energies in them. But what do we talk about? Let's bring it more down to earth. The pituitary gland is oval shaped, and the pineal gland is shaped like a penis.
Yeah.
Now they told us a pine cone. Forget a pine cone.
It's phallic.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why in the scriptures it says you must be circumcised to get to God. It's already circumcised. But now it needs another burst of energy. You got the one energy coming down. You got that memo. So the sexual fluid is made in the brain before it goes to the genitals.
What? You just said that.
Say what?
Somebody said that. Rupert said it.
Oh, and all your what you call it,
Cerebrospinal fluid?
well, also you have your neurotransmitters.
Yeah.
Your neurotransmitters are made in the brain,
In the brain.
which operates all of this. And we already know that death and life begins where? In the colon.
Here we
It's
go.
a full circle right there.
Now look what she said. And I like how you related the neurotransmitters in the colon. That's why they call it your second brain or your first brain.
Fine. The same gray matter in
Here
the
we
brain
go.
isn't-
That's why I say I'm a genius. I ain't got nothing there.
It's clear.
Right.
Your mind real clear.
It's making neurotransmitters. It's making DMT. All of this is open now. Uh-oh. So this sexual fluid is coming down with the cerebral spinal fluid going to the gonads. For the men, it's the what? Seminal fluid. For the women, it's the ovarian fluid. And when it gets down there, it's going to be transformed into something else.
Yes.
It's different from whence it came.
Yes.
But it's coming back up
Right. Oh yeah.
if a person don't release it.
Plus it's a cycle.
It's a cycle. Here we go.
The system.
So when it comes back up, it's coming back 100% more powerful than when it went down. Especially if you live in a good, clean lifestyle. Because it changes its color, the way it tastes, and the way it looks based on a person's lifestyle.
You get that right.
And the way it smells. And it's using the best cells of the body just to make it.
The best.
The best of the best. That's why you can't eat McDonald's and then try to bring it back. You have to be eating
Right.
life, energy.
So here we go.
Whole foods.
Because we're creators. We're master builders. Listen at that. They show us that little G on the Mason side. It's talking about you. You're supposed to be a master builder. You are building a temple or a house without hands. You got to rebuild yourself. Like the $6 million man.
Those
More powerful,
those
dude.
chakras,
More better,
they
stronger,
correlate
faster.
with your. They correlate also with your endocrine system. So the root is gonads. The
Right.
sacral chakra
That's
is
the endocrine
ovaries.
system.
Yes, and here's your adrenals.
That's
And then
right.
you coming up, that's the thymus.
Right.
And you
Right.
come up here, thyroid. That's
Thyroid.
All coming back up.
metabolism right here.
Metabolism.
Okay.
Right.
So that's why I be working that root chakra all the time.
So now when it comes back up,
Up.
it's going back in now the cerebral spinal fluid. She said something real key. It's more than just in the spine. It's making a circulation around the brain.
On the brain. That's right.
And to make the infinity sign come down like that.
So your brain is sitting in the fluid.
Yeah,
That's right.
So when it comes back up now, since you're allowing it to in that cycle, it's nourishing the brain,
Bathing it.
bathing it. It's a whole different fluid now.
The brain floats.
Yeah.
And it
The
gives,
brain floats in that fluid.
it is giving it fructose,
Mm.
It's get-
Protein.
protein, carbohydrates,
Sugars.
sugars,
Yes.
everything is in that.
Yes.
Fats too, right?
Omegas.
All of that good
Omega
stuff.
6.
Vitamin C. Here we go. That's the food. But then when it goes back in that circulation, it's also bringing a vibration with it. Now the vibration is totally different. So it's going to touch the pituitary gland again. So now before, the penis, the pineal gland, was stimulating the pituitary. But a person who goes celibacy now, and it's coming back up, now the pituitary, the ovary, the vagina is going to start stimulating the penis. That's what they call the marriage or the sexual union.
And this is happening internal. This don't have to do with this is internal happening.
This is internally
No,
happening.
And this is the original asexual being.
Right.
We were
And
man
drunkenness.
and female
That's right, Paul.
together.
That's right.
We didn't need
So
that.
this
we
is-
were
this is where-
asexual.
This
could
is where we were
produce.
talking about, where we were saying that the
That's how she
union
died.
of the twin flame
Immaculate.
within your body.
The twin flame within the body.
Yes, yes, yes.
The
The two
union-
candlesticks in Revelation.
The twin flame within the body.
Adam and Eve. Shiva and Shakti. This is the joining.
That's right.
Not only is an invisible force, it's also what? The fluids taking place. All this is taking place. You're doing something. You're building something. So it can give off another frequency of the third eye. It's sending out another frequency now. Now look at the...
Okay, wait.
Your
I'm there.
frequency is up.
This is the next
Going
page.
higher.
Right. Now listen to what they say in ancient times. Now, in Egypt, they had the Eye of Horus and all of this. Very powerful. But before we go into that, look what the Buddhists say.
For Buddhists, symbol of spiritual awakening.
It's a symbol of spiritual awakening,
Yeah.
the third eye.
Yes.
And what else it got?
The Hinduism,
And in Hinduism,
seat of intuition and clairvoyance.
and the seat of intuition and clairvoyance, they talk about the third eye.
Right.
Now,
Taoist. Oh, go ahead.
And the Taoists, go ahead.
The Taoists, mind's eye or heaven's eyes. These are the symbols.
And they're saying it's the mind's eye or heaven's
You
eye.
got any more? Any other cultures?
Now, heaven- Heaven is the high state of consciousness. It's either going to be heaven or hell. No in between. You can't serve two masters. So if a person's life is messed up, aches and pains in the body, they're living in the tear of hell. And the Pope said at one time, not this Pope, one of the popes came out and said, Heaven isn't a location. It's a state of consciousness. And people got mad at him.
So what they have?
You know it.
You know they got mad
That's
at him.
why, that's why he's gone.
And the church said he took a weapon from us.
Right, they live for that golden path to heaven and the pearly gates.
Okay.
Now let's see what clairvoyance is. Because ain't no use of going for something if you don't know what's going to happen or what it is. What is clairvoyance?
Clairvoyance, having or exhibiting an ability to perceive events in the future or beyond normal sensory contact.
Now this isn't far-fetched.
No.
The CIA, and it's documented, they bring out things every once in a while, tell you the stuff they was working on. And they jumped into it with remote viewing because they thought Russia was doing it.
That's right.
But they spent millions, if not billions of dollars on the project. So it ain't far-fetched. They jumped into it.
And it make you think, tell you it's deja vu. But it's not deja
It ain't
vu.
de-
You saw it. You actually see it with your mind eye. But it's not that. But you, they let you know. It's say, oh, it's deja vu. No, I've been here. I did this before.
Right.
I knew that.
And you can recover and see stuff way on the other side of the planet. Because there is no other side of the planet. I was talking to my son on the phone one day and I said, I know your favorite color is black, but you got on a white shirt right now. He said, you got me again. We can do it. All you got to do is exercise it.
We do it all the time.
We do it all the time.
What's that you said on one of your things? You said, I think you were in Egypt, and you were trying to find a place, but the GPS wasn't working.
Right.
So what did you do?
It's since the GPS wasn't working, I said, I know better than this. And all I did was felt the air and said, there it is right there, because I felt it in the atmosphere. As soon as we got there, we found it.
Because it has a frequency.
It has a
Everything
frequency.
has a
Right.
frequency.
And this is the most, your body is the what? Most intelligent computer on the science and technology that you have access to on this planet.
That's right.
I
Hands
just
down.
gotta trust that. You gotta trust it.
Right. But we got it.
Buy a computer and buy a machine.
Biocomputer, biomachine.
Biomachine.
The most sophisticated
Trust
one
it.
on this planet. Always have and is today. Hands down.
And they keep trying to imitate it.
Keep trying to imitate it.
Right.
Everything you see is imitated.
Imitated from our bodies.
Even exactly, because there's a lot of time where I'm in traffic and it's nighttime, and you can really see it then because all of the red lights are going like this, you know, and all of the white lights are going like this.
Right.
And I'm like, this look like this is just arteries, you know, and pathways, and so
That's
it's
all
all people over the smartphone.
That's the
You know,
nervous
it's
system.
just
If you
all
notice
made
the
off
nervous-
of the brain and off of the body.
That's the nervous system. The body have the same color, the red, the brain, and when the shutting neutrons sparks and shocks off, then it comes in. You see it, the color of the light, and it explodes like an explosion. But
Right.
they show you that, and they keep us like that. That's like when you see the lights.
Yeah.
Police light flashing. It's like
Over-
adrenaline start getting.
Yeah,
it
automatic.
make you get that rush. That's in the body.
Automatic.
Yeah.
They just take what's in the body and put it in front of you. So now it's just your adrenaline rush, and they say that's what the adrenaline look like. So when you see the cop car coming to the ambulance, you're like adrenaline. You know, they get
It's
that,
like
flow,
programming.
that out of you.
Yeah, they use that light information for programming, for scare
Subliminal
tactics,
message.
exactly.
depression,
Terror
Yes, all of that.
All of that.
So clairvoyance is dealing with the what?
Having
Internal sight.
Yeah,
And then we got clear audience that deals with hearing.
hearing.
And we got these abilities. It all deals with the activation of the third eye.
Yep.
Here we go. And this all goes with the breatharian message. Why do you want to go without eating? So you can come into your powers. It's all about power. And the person that rules over you is because you became powerless. Bottom line. I'd rather be a slave. I'd rather be a slave and eat McDonald's. And so be it.
Right, and you're gonna get cavities. You don't have
It's
your
all about power. Oh man.
Here
Here we go.
I gotta give up Chick-fil-A or I can hear miles away. I mean, that's a hard one.
And all we saying is outgrow it.
Yeah.
It's just an experience. It ain't time for you to get stuck in it.
Right.
That's what we're talking about. We're not saying you got to be able to pass eating or not eating. Whoever, you don't understand. But develop yourself till you know that that's nothing but an experience. It ain't even keeping you alive.
Oh, pardon me. That's what I I was
So that
trying to
got
tell
nothing to do
you,
with it.
like, we
She
can
said,
live.
"Ah!"
I'm sorry, I just said we could live on less. We can live on less. Terry, you don't eat enough. You don't eat enough. I can live on less. And I think people be thinking I'm trying to be like minimalist, like trendy or something. I'm like,
Check this
I'll
out.
have
sister.
half a bagel with you.
Check this out.
I'm not carb, keto, none of those things.
Check this out.
But you can live on less.
How many bags did you bring today?
Like, why do you have to have so much stuff?
You bought like 2 bags.
Right,
and
2 bags and a
2
sleeping
bags
bag.
and a sleeping bag.
That's right.
When I packed him, when I picked him up this morning, he said, "This
This
is
is
all
me.
my stuff.
That's right.
All the stuff in life. That's how you
2
travel.
bags and a sleeping
You
bag."
came to Hawaii
That's all
2
you
weeks with
need.
a backpack? All I need
Everything,
is the mango.
when you do need something, you just let it appear before you, and then after you get done,
Go to
get it.
Grenada
I
anytime.
think
Live off the land.
that's where people.
So you talk about your light carbon footprint.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
invisible.
not like you try to
Invisible
be a
carbon.
minimalist. You don't try to be a
You wanna be
minimalist.
invisible.
It just starts to happen.
Right,
And then
now-
your house, you start downsizing. I don't need
This
to
is what
Because
she
guess
said.
what?
I
Guess
don't
what?
need
The
this.
earth is gonna
I don't need
the
it.
earth is gonna support you
Yeah.
because you're supporting the earth
Look at
by
what she
not
said.
leaving no heavy footprint.
She
on
said, you're not trying to be a minimalist. It will happen. Just from being on this path, opening up your chakras, you start going up
I have
minimal stuff.
2 pots.
You start paying less attention to physical things. You don't even care about that. That's more bulk. That bogs you down even more. You free.
You get rid of all your plastic Tupperware. It falls on your head.
You
You're
free.
like, I don't need it.
I might as well say you're a God. Here we go. Meditation is the tool to transform you into a God,
Write that down.
which is
y'all.
power.
Write that down. y'all.
Meditation is a tool.
Meditation is the tool to transform you into a God.
That's it. It's all about power again.
That's right.
Now let's read that other one.
Okay,
Okay.
this one right here.
Yeah.
So gain information about an object, person, location, or physical event, ESP.
ESP, basically.
I kind of jumped into that early
Mm-hmm.
because I asked you about the thing, and here's the question already.
Here it is, right there.
I asked him the question before it was read.
So you can, with your third eye open, you can gain information about a place, location, or event. Now,
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Because I often have, like this whole setting, I saw it. I saw all of this at some point. However, I'm not at the place where, it's not until like I'm in it that I'm like, oh, that's what I saw. I mean, I clearly know that.
Right.
I know this. But what is it, the piece that, why am I not able to, when it comes to me initially, why am I not able to remember or recall? Is that still that piece of me cleaning up myself?
that's still a piece of you cleaning up yourself.
And trusting.
And trusting.
What you see
and
is
staying
for
in
real.
alignment,
Okay.
staying in your meditation.
Perfect practice make perfect. Everything we're dealing with.
But that's it.
And
That's
sometimes
it.
it is, look,
Yeah.
sometimes it is really, really foggy. Like it's a dream. And then when you get there, you're like, no, I did not dream this. I was here before. Like, Mr.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I
The
see it
deja vu.
always. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even deja vu. It's like I
You still saw it.
yeah.
Pre-saw it.
Yeah.
Like, that's called premonition.
Precognition.
Yes,
Oh, that's
premonition.
pre-knowing. That's
But look what we
pre-knowing.
said about the information that you can get. That means that, like people say, I became a breatharian without a teacher. But the teacher already had the information.
In the teaching.
And the information I needed, I could go get it.
That's where I was like, I got the information. I remember the information. I got there, and I went through the step where I did the raw food, I did the juicing, and I did it and eating fruits, and then I was just up there, and I'm like, yo, oh, this is good, man. This is awesome. Whoa. It's like, wow. You're in New York City, and people looking at you like you're on the train, and you're a happy guy, you know.
Right.
You know, the train breakdown, you're like, oh, I'll just relax. Right. You gotta go to work. Okay, that's cool. I'll get there when I get there.
You got the information. That's what they call about, now even though they made it all mythical, the Akashic records. But they got you thinking there's some library, there's somewhere else. It's just,
The galaxy.
yeah, the information is, you're sitting in it.
Is that our triangle up here too?
She very calm.
Can you
So
access
basically,
your classic
it's
records
right here.
through your own pineal?
Let's not make it spooky. What we're saying is, all information you need, you already got the package. You are it. You're everything.
It's so cute.
But you got to get into that realization to really know this. You got to grow into it. See, on one level, I understand how you're thinking. Is it here? Is it there? How do I access it? But you are it.
So you could stop searching.
Because
You see my face?
But listen to this. Every time you search, you always wind up in the present moment.
You
Because
can't
you are
right.
here.
Oh, right. Power comes to you.
Be here now.
You
It
are
comes
here.
to you. Bring it to me.
So if you look in the past, you look in the future, you're
Be
gonna always
here
come
now.
back.
Or look
right
at
here.
your life where you would sincerely needed some information. There was an event that took place, or a person that came to you that told you what you need to do or
Yeah.
gave you what you needed. It happens all the time.
Always.
Whether if you know it or not.
Yeah.
We've been
That's it.
doing it. Now you just become aware this takes place. That's why you can start living a life differently to other people. When a situation takes place, you ain't all shaking around. I know I'm gonna go through this. Okay, here we go. I know I'm gonna bring this. You're doing your nails.
Like
Everybody else all uptight.
A hurricane coming. That'll be good.
Yeah, we'll be all right. That's what you're doing.
Well, I'll take care of it.
Everybody else is on
Chef,
there.
what are you making with this?
Because they don't trust themselves, they cut off, they don't know.
Yeah.
And everybody got that ability. That's the universe's job to get you what you need. It ain't had nothing to do with your prayer, who you believe in, who you are.
Thank you.
It didn't.
I know
It was
it.
gonna do it anyway.
That's universal power.
That's universal power, which is universal love. Which, like how they say, the sun is shining on everybody. It ain't gotta know you exist.
Mm.
It's keeping you
And
alive.
there's nothing new under the sun.
Ain't nothing new under the sun.
Mm.
Oh man,
Mm.
that's something, ain't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we touching some things.
We touching
We
it.
touching on some things.
Can-
The pineal gland activation, unnecessary. All of them necessary, but it's necessary as you come into the food freedom process because it's up here in the brain. It's hooked up with the thalamus. If you got the body purified, it's going to bring a higher influx of energy into the body. You understand? That light is going to transform it so it can bring in more light. That's why the Pharaoh said the light body nourished the physical body.
You're twin.
And they was walking around with the cobra right here. What does that mean? That's a symbology. It was raised up. And it's their job to keep it up. That's why there's the scripture that says what? How Moses raised the serpent up in the wilderness. That's what the Son of Man had to do. Raise the serpent up and keep it up. Energy
They
out.
make it, the religion that made it seem like this is the devil. You know, like the serpent is the devil.
Well, that's how they scared us.
Yes.
Serpent knowledge. Ooh, that's the devil. That's
Yes,
the-
that's right.
Okay,
Right.
whatever. We got it now.
Yes, we got it.
All of that, we can put away childish things
Mhm.
and do a true transformation. This is what we dealt with, serpent knowledge, whatever you want to call it. We're bringing it up. And it's a given. You really ain't got to do much because heat love to rise upwards. So it's all automatically seeking to go upwards. All the time. All we got to do is get with it and say, oh, I know what you're trying to do.
Remove all the barriers.
Remove the barriers.
Like a great big bilge.
Oh man.
Ah, voila.
Do you suggest not only high vitality foods for this pineal gland? Do you recommend any sound, breath work, certain positionings in your qigong that will automatically open it?
Well, this is where we're going back to. If you got a practice that you like, you'll stick with it.
Yeah, I know what I do.
So what's your favorite meditation? If you want to share.
Me, personally, well, for my root, I like, women, we should do Kegels. I like to do my bandhas, as the Indians would call it. I like sit and it's not my glute muscles working, it's a more internal muscle. It's like I'm cinching like a purse,
Well, that's what
strings.
Well, that's what we're talking about. So you got you a good practice. But
Yeah,
now
yeah,
it's
yeah,
about upping your game. See,
Yeah,
a lot of
that's
people,
where I'm at. I need to up this game.
a lot of people was into these practices, but they were
Breathing,
unable to
sound.
go food freedom because they didn't know it existed. You only can create what you know that exists. But once you know that it exists, this changes the ball game.
Yes.
Sort of like Kriya Yoga. It got 7 different levels. The 3rd level is food freedom. But out of all these people doing Kriya Yoga on the planet, why wasn't none of them food free?
And nothing.
Because they ripped it out the book. They didn't tell them.
I mean.
Or they thought it was mythical for somebody else. It ain't for nobody else. You got to build confidence up in yourself.
Must have been a
You are the creator. That's your inner. That's your what? Identity.
I think a lot of practices, spiritual practices, have that freedom if you choose to do it, but they just don't tell you like, oh no. They say Well, just leave that part out.
Whole lot of things got in the way.
Yeah, leave that part out, because if you get that part, you realize that you start thinking for yourself.
Then you won't need the teacher no more.
You don't need a teacher.
You want to stay your guru.
But you are your own guru.
You're your own guru.
I have faith in my teacher to lead me to the truth.
To lead you to the truth, but then it's your own
That's
self-realization.
my inner
That's my
teacher.
art.
That's
It's
my
emergence.
inner physician.
Mhm.
My inner teacher guides me into the truth of who I am.
Right. Here we go now. Now this is making sense, huh?
Yes.
The third eye activation, and you will gain these powers, which is basically your true nature. And then the magnetism, we're electromagnetic field. Remember that? The higher the electricity, the higher the magnetism. That's how it goes in the rules of science. The higher the magnetism, the higher the electricity. So when you up your electricity in the body, that increases your magnetism so you can get anything you want.
It's amplifying.
You can get anything you want. That's real. There's nothing held back from your hand. Oh, man.
Well, what is it? We have the keys to loose in heaven. And you can, what is it? Behold, I give you the keys to loose the things in heaven and loose the things on earth. And the things that you bind in heaven.
Right.
It's
So
the things
above,
that
so
you
below.
bind on earth.
So within,
And
so
you-
without.
And you get the keys.
This ain't far-fetched no more.
We're receiving the keys to
Is it-
open up all of the things that we want to experience and manifest.
And this is what it deals with. Let's look at that thing, this force called money. M-O-N-E-Y. And that's what everybody's chasing. It's a powerful force on the planet. People sell out for it every day. Now listen at this. But money comes from the moon. Listen at that. M-O is the moon. Now it's a vibration, but the moon is a lower vibration than the sun. Listen at this. So therefore, money is powerful, but it's a lower vibration than the spiritual forces, than the unseen forces. The moon follows the sun. So all you got to do is follow the sun, follow the light, and the money will follow you. That's why I say, what do you want to do? Live your dream. When you live your dream, the forces will come to back up your dream. That's how it works. But when you sit up there waiting on the money to come in order to live your dream, it might not happen.
It's not happening.
It's not happening.
It's called the wrong order.
It's out the wrong order.
I-
It's a currency. That's why when he gave you that book, Think and Grow Rich, you said the key words. I'm looking how to open up a bank account, what to invest in. It ain't talked that. It talked about the frequency and the vibration of the thinking in the body. And it had a whole chapter dealing with sexual energy cultivation. Period.
The first thing it had in
And
it.
currency
The first thing it had in it was talking about how infinite the mind is,
How infinite the mind is.
how infinite our mind field is.
Right.
In the Kimbrough one
Both.
that I had, in both of them.
Both of 'em.
Okay, okay.
Kimber only. Kimber
read-
only.
he just
duplicated
adapted it. He just
only
adapted it.
duplicated and gave it up.
Right. For
kids,
black folks.
Right.
Right.
But it takes training again to come onto that level of thought. Because again, we've been trapped in it so long, you're still looking for survival. So we ain't saying walk away from everything like that. You got to grow into it. Lay things down slowly, like you said. It'll be a releasing, and then you're going to find out these things coming to you anyway. See, what started my journey was, since the health was bad, I had to make a commitment that, because before I was chasing money. But when I started focusing more on my health, and I said in my mind with the commitment, the job I got, if I can't afford it from the job I'm working, I guess I don't need it. When I made that declaration, that's what things I started getting everything I wanted. You reversed it. You put yourself as a priority. God.
That's right.
God is a priority.
See, we say that, yeah, put God as a priority. You.
Yeah. Right.
But see, people don't associate themselves.
That's their problem.
That's their
I know.
They probably-
You keep thinking about people.
Right.
Better stop thinking about the people. Sorry.
Right. They don't exist till you go outside and give them life.
Well, I'm a humanitarian.
That's why, what? In that book, what? Higher consciousness, man's higher consciousness, He said, the problem is everybody trying to keep this alive. It's already dead. All you're doing is animating it.
With the spirit within.
This is moving around because of my thought. Yours is too, but you got to come into that realization. It ain't got nothing to do with what you just ate. That's why your body's going to reject it.
Well, you are going to have balance.
It's going to reject it. Then the person's in that cycle. Could never be fulfilled. Thirsty. Hungry. Over and over again. And if you overeat, you're going to wake up hungry the next day. That's showing you. It's a cycle. All the way to the grave. Costs a lot of money, too. It's expensive to die.
It is.
It is.
It's expensive to die.
Expensive.
Yeah.
We ain't even talking about the journey. Some people going through some real journeys, trying to get well. That is no game. But they need us to wake up. Just your vibration of waking up affects other people to heal them. This is where we at. The higher frequency conquers the lower frequency. And you ain't got to talk or teach nobody nothing. All you got to do is just be there. Oh, man. This is what we're talking about.
This is where we at.
But that's what we want. And look at that intuition. Now your intuition gets strengthened. What is that?
Intuition, the ability to understand something immediately without the need for conscious reasoning.
Now what is that?
Sixth sense, maybe?
Well, there's many names for it. Some people say it's their spirit guide. Some people say it's their what? Guardian angel. Their ancestors. We call it all types of things.
The knowing.
Yeah, all of this stuff.
Sixth sense.
But let's break it down. All right. But it's an intuition. Even scientists don't disagree with that. But it didn't come from in you. It came from outside of you.
No doubt.
Because remember what we said. Your energy body extends beyond you. So it is you. But you got to grow into that.
My first
Those other things, you probably go through those levels, guardian angel, ancestor, till you find out that's you.
All those things.
my first
All
spiritual
those things are.
Who's it?
my first
Looking
my
out for
first-
you.
My first spiritual actualization was I was in the park and I was about to be robbed.
Right.
And at first I didn't know it. But it was something peculiar about the situation. But then my intuition
The intuition.
spoke to me very clearly. Said, you about to get robbed. And he's involved, and those two guys standing way over there are involved.
Right.
And I was like, those two? Those two. This guy's gonna take your radio, I had my little box. He's gonna give it to that. He said, the big guy's gonna walk over to you. He's gonna grab you. The other guy's gonna take your radio. Just gave it to me. Just laid it out. Bang, bang, bang.
Laid it out.
This is what's gonna happen. And I was like, come on, is that what it is? And when I questioned it, the big dude walked over to me. I said, oh, this is real. Because he's at my
But
shoulder.
he was giving the information.
Right.
Clear and clarity. And I said, well, okay, and
Could you prevent it? Yes or no?
it was intervened. The situation was intervened upon.
Oh, good.
Their plan was thwarted, and I grabbed my belongings,
Right.
and I walked out of the park. I didn't run. I walked out of the park, but
No.
my head was opened up to the point where there was a divine intervention on my behalf that never happened prior to that. I was about 19. I
What
about
that you was
19.
aware of.
That
That's
I
why.
was aware of.
That you
But
were
now I'm
aware of.
aware of it.
Right.
So this is why it's so profound now.
Right.
I'm sure there was a whole bunch of stuff to happen because we was real children.
Right.
We tried our best to kill ourselves. Just in the play.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And we didn't die.
Right.
So, I've had many things
Wasn't aware of
intervene.
that fear.
So that's why living a spiritual lifestyle, yoga means union with.
Yes.
And I don't so much mean to practice yoga, but it means
To unite.
you need to start meditating so you can get used to listening to your intuition voice, to trust it more. It's always telling you what's right. So that's why a person start living a more spiritual lifestyle, spending a lot of time alone, because they're not alone.
Never alone.
Never alone. But you're getting used to talking to that voice. Always can tell you what's up.
People try to tell you that you're crazy. Think about the people again. But they try to tell you that you're crazy for talking to yourself.
Well,
But
we all
you're
talk to
supposed
ourselves.
You're supposed to be your best friend.
We all talk to ourselves. We do.
Sure.
I used to live in a place and people thought I lived alone. I'd be like, you shut up. No, you shut up. Talking to myself.
I was trained also in karma, you know, like, it's not what karma, but it's also just your energy field, the human energy field, and it's not necessarily versus the Earth's energy field, but we all have an energy field.
Right.
So in that energy field, your root, there's things that dwell in that space that's radiating off of your human energy field. When you're talking about ancestors, spirit guides, all that, you're talking about working on an etheric level. That's coming off of your crown chakra. Your throat chakra emanates a different energy, and then lower,
Well, you live in
less
a.
subtler bodies.
Well, let's put it like this: you're never going to. You're always being.
There's spirits.
You're always being stimulated by other energy fields.
Well, I'm saying
Even a
inside
building
your
is giving off its own energy field.
Definitely, I believe that too. Places have energy and can be clear.
Right,
But
all the
inside
time.
my energy field, is that where, like, say, the guidance I feel like I'm getting from my ancient ancestors that's coming from this energy field up here, and then the ones I'm getting from maybe like my grandmother kind of closer, then I may be dealing with some like more dense levels of energy, like physical body problem, or that's coming. Those are all embedded in my own auric
All
field.
embedded in your own field.
Right. So when
That's
people
your
say, that's
stuff.
my spirit guide up here, and that's the devil on the shoulder, that's your root chakra out of balance. Or,
That's
you
your
see
own.
what I'm
Right.
trying to
Everything
go?
you're dealing with, you're cleaning
Yes.
all that up.
Yes.
Even your ancestor stuff. They even got a thing
Yes.
called epigenetics. Your grandmother could have went through a trauma that's
Yeah, and
affecting
you,
you in this life right
this is
now.
what I'm talking about.
So this is just real stuff.
Yes. And that
But-
all has to be clearing out.
But don't be scared of it.
I'm not scared.
We at
I
least
just
got to
want you tell me.
begin,
That's true.
and we're learning this tool called meditation, and the light will take care of it.
That's right.
So that's why we were saying on this journey, don't worry, the light will get you there. All you got to do is stay
Flash it,
consistent
flash it.
and allow it to do what it wants to do. Because you ain't strong enough to do
Yeah, I
it
know
all.
that's right. Thank you. Pardon me.
That's what we're doing.
Because I know that air, I'm like, Lord.
All right.
All right, there's a second part to
That's
the
where they live.
definition.
All right, let's listen to
All
this
right.
intuition.
Here's the second part of the definition of intuition. A thing that one knows or considers likely from instinctive feeling rather than conscious reasoning.
Instead of conscious reasoning, it's a feeling, because it's a feeling state. See, on a spiritual path, you are living in a feeling state. Oh, man. Because you're dealing with energetic impulses and spheres of influence. Energetic impulses and spheres of influence.
So, I mean, our intuition is what could be considered one of our six senses. Then.
Absolutely. That's what you want to strengthen.
You have like
And I like how you said that. The sixth sense. See, because your five senses, seeing, hearing, smelling, but on all of them, you're feeling with them. In order for you to see me, that means that my image had to touch your eyes.
That's right.
In order to hear me, my voice had to touch your ears.
That's right.
So you're just putting all of them together instead of all these different things we split up. They're all one. You're feeling yourself through the universe.
So that's really the only sense we have.
That's the only sense you got.
It's touch.
Touch.
It's touch.
That's it.
I'm feeling you.
I'm
Because that's what we say.
That's what we say.
Yo, I'm
I'm
feeling you.
Our Ebonics language got a whole lot of spiritual stuff in it.
I'm feeling you.
I'm feeling your energy. I'm feeling
Right,
your vibration.
right.
That's why I don't have a problem using it at times. There are times when I specifically will say something
It's coming right up
that's
out of us.
ebonic. You know what I mean? And I mean exactly what I said.
Right.
With that, you know, because it can touch the feeling.
So this path is a lot of fun. And dealing with the food part, like we said, just going back to it, that's a catalyst whether you eat or don't eat. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Whether you eat or don't eat, that is a catalyst on your life.
I think people emphasize that part too much. You know, they pay most. I think that's where the most attention is. Like, you don't stop eating. You know, like,
Right.
That's not.
That's the focus.
And listen at this.
That's the
Not
focus.
eating is a byproduct from staying on the path. That just comes along. It ain't even something to seek.
That's when you get bored. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You get bored.
It ain't even something to seek. It's the byproduct that comes along on the path. You ain't even expect it coming. Whoa. That's why, again, don't seek the power. Let the power seek you. The forces know that vessel's ready. You don't know when it's ready. We're going to make the transition. If you had to ask, you ain't ready.
That's right. That's right.
That's it.
That's right. That's right.
If you had to ask, you ain't ready. Oh, man. That's it.
So when you get to the intuition, I think that's where you divide that, where we were saying there's a difference between believing and knowing. Like if I tell you,
Right.
I believe the sky is blue, or I say, I know it is, or I say, I know God. I believe in God, I believe in God. If I say, I know God, then it's more convincing if I say, I know.
Well, listen at this.
Huh?
Yeah.
Because we're talking about how that voice or that feeling is coming from you at first externally. Now, why is that? Now, I know everybody, we're light beings and we talk this, but we're still dense as you're growing.
Yeah.
Your soul has to be developed. That's why a thing called spiritual cultivation. The light that's in the average person is not strong enough. That's why nature is not sustainable. They put tape on their mouth right now, you ain't got nothing coming. You have to develop it. That's why meditation's a tool again. To open up all of this, the whole system, so it could get a good frequency so the music can play, or you can get the information.
Symphony. Tune that instrument.
The antenna, the amplifier, the receiver, the transmitter, all the way to the speaker. Everything got to be open for one good system to work.
Wow.
If there's any blockage in it, it's going to show. Oh, man. This is good, ain't it?
Yes, it's been very good.
And all we want to do is up our game.
Yep.
This is in our favor. And it'll happen quick, too. You'd be surprised.
It does.
It does.
It does. Without even thinking about it, it happened because you're just like, did I get that? Yeah, I gave that. Oh man, you know. And then I don't go back to this certain. They be like, yo, you don't know. I never did. No. Because I think like being at this stage now, certain things people say it's healthy for them. To me, it's not. I'm like, okay. But I don't judge because I was there and I understand what it means to be there.
Right.
So I'll see you when you get here.
Oh, man. This is heavy. Oh, man.
I'll meet you there.
When you get
Yeah,
I feel you.
Now, right now, we're going to... This is good. We'll take a break.
You gonna take a break?
And then we'll start working on our third eye. We got another meditation.
Okay.
All right.
That sound like a plan?
All right.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, let's
Yes.